We're live, pal. We're live. And welcome back. Stu Marek, Sportscast talking wrestling on the horn. As I take care of a little bit of social media. So we're back for night 2 of WrestleMania. In fact, they are going through the recap right now. And there we go. So got the cold one already going again. Native Texan. Shout out to Independence Brewing here in Austin. Very tasty. So let's see. Real quick. In fact, we're about to start with the pre-show match for night 2. Natalya coming out to the ring is going to face Liv Morgan in a Stuff Just Happens match, of course. Let's get comfy. By the way, shirt of the day today, WrestleMania 34, one of my favorite cities, New Orleans, which just happened to be where I did my first Super Bowl 47, Ravens-Niners in New Orleans. Spent a whole week there. Ate more jambalaya in 1 week than I have and had in like 5 years prior, and it was so good. So, there's been a lot of talk about last night, about night 1. Some good, some not so good. I'll be honest, it wasn't bad. There's points where it was kind of like, ew. But I think part of that is I had low expectations. Didn't know what to expect with an empty arena match, several empty arena matches. Didn't know what they were going to do as far as booking titles and such. So, but yeah, all in all, it was good. It wasn't bad. It was, obviously the highlight of the night. Highlight of the night was the Boneyard match, which was just fantastic. I think a lot of people gave a lot of credit to Matt Hardy. What he was able to do in TNA with the Broken Brilliance, the Broken Universe, the Ultimate Deletion, all that good stuff. That kind of set the table. And I would also give a nod to Lucha Underground. They did that as well. A lot of cinematic, presenting pro wrestling and Lucha Libre in a cinematic frame. In fact, I saw somebody say this one looks like it was booked by Dario Cueto. Remember the old boss from Lucha Underground who ran the temple. So, but yeah, it was a fantastic effort. Got to see some pictures. Shout out to What Culture Wrestling. They had some pictures that they had obtained, some of the stills from the production. Some interesting notes, for instance, the 8 individuals that were playing druids, they were being mentored by both AJ and Undertaker and Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, how to pull off what they did. There was, they shot it overnight. So about from 9 p.m. till 5 a.m., which makes total sense. You want it dark. Dirty little secret. I was actually in a couple movies done by a local production company here in town. Of course, I'm blanking by the name, but one of my radio mentors, David Anderson, who'd worked in Austin radio forever and ever and ever, was a budding screenwriter. He wrote a couple of, thriller type, not necessarily horror films, but just suspense. And so I was lucky enough to be an extra in one, and ended up with an on-screen credit as man at bar. And then the other one, I had a speaking role. But the first one we shot middle of the night. It was down at Shoal Creek Saloon down on downtown Austin, and spent all night shooting this scene, a couple scenes there, and in the midst have a couple beers and have a little food. It was fun, but yeah, it was at night, so you were up all night, and didn't get done till like 5 or 6 in the morning. Well, that's what this was. So, but yeah, they show Jeremy Borash, which, if you know about the Broken Universe and how that was created in TNA, Jeremy Borash had a huge hand in that as far as how they shot it and everything. So, of course, his hand was all over this. So, great job. I mean, it was just fun. Now, the other thing is that it's going to set the table tonight for the Firefly Funhouse match between John Cena and the Fiend Bray Wyatt. I upset somebody on Twitter. It was kind of funny. I was, giving my opinion. I'll shout out to Reese Kelly Graham, who writes for the Dallas Morning News. We were in this discussion. I said, I had low expectations, so it wasn't bad. And I said, talked about tonight, and I said, very flippantly, I said, just for the sake of seeing Twitter and the internet wrestling community just absolutely melt down, I kind of hope John Cena wins. Now, look, it's somebody got really upset about that. I don't know. Maybe they're a big fan. Maybe they're a family member. I don't know. But if you've listened to our show, I'm not the biggest fan of the Fiend character. Bray Wyatt is a fine wrestler. He does a fine job, but as Justin Simmons, the Smash, my co-host, has often said, the Fiend is basically Bray Wyatt just in a mask. It's not like he changes his wrestling moves for the sake of being the Fiend. It's still Bray Wyatt. So no, I don't think the Fiend will lose. I think the Fiend will win. I think that John Cena will do the honors, because this is kind of feeling like this is his way out. But yeah, I mean, honestly, to see, because the Twitterverse and internet wrestling community, they get very passionate. Let's just say they get passionate about things. Like when Goldberg beat the Fiend in Saudi Arabia. I thought it was hilarious. And I'm a Goldberg fan, so, but it has nothing to do with like that. All that to say, let's remember one thing. Pro wrestling is supposed to be fun. If you're watching this for some cinematic Oscar-winning moment, although Boneyard match, sure, but otherwise, you're supposed to have fun with it, feel about it, get emotional about it. But, like what you like, don't like what you like, but don't be mean about it. That's all I'm saying. By the way, and matches continue, Liv Morgan and Natalya, hard-hitting match, by the way. Pretty good little stint. Before night one started, ooh, cool. They keep rolling back and forth. Oh, wow, Liv Morgan gets the win. Liv Morgan beats Natalya. It was a roll-up. So Morgan had Natalya rolled up and then kind of rocked back. So Natalya had Morgan. They rocked back and forth a couple times. Morgan finally gets the last one, crosses the legs to add to the hook in the legs, and gets the win. So, hey, congratulations, Liv Morgan. That's awesome. Let's see if that means a heel turn for Natalya. Natalya's had almost as many turns as the Big Show. So, and of course, they fade to black. So that's great. But anyway, before night 2 of WrestleMania started, they had the WWE 24 documentary on Edge. When they first started making this, it was going to be about Edge his life after wrestling. He retired after this would have been WrestleMania 27, 28, something like that. And 27. It was 27. And it was, and then, turned into, hey, what if? And went through all the progressions of how Edge came back. So, fantastic documentary. It Every time you see Edge's entrance at the Royal Rumble in Houston, it really kind of gets to you because, and especially after you see that whole story, to see him go out there and see when he came out, you could see. I mean, he did not hide his emotions. It was, and to watch, they had the shot of Beth Phoenix, his wife, sitting in Gorilla, watching that. It was, it was really, really cool. I mean, really kind of brought a tear to my eye. Him talking about his mom. I'm big time on anytime anybody honors their mom. My mom passed away 20 something years ago. You can't, well, I guess you could see it. I could turn the camera around for just a little bit. So in the headquarters, let's do this. So you can see the screen, and then above that, that is my mom's high school picture when she was a senior in high school, and it stays there in that kind of a place of honor. Let's see. Yeah, okay, we're back. Um, so believe me, I know what it means to honor mom. A lot of people, mom's your biggest fan, and that was true of me. Mom was my biggest fan. Mom, she loved everything I did, and she was the person that supported me, when I went in the army and everything. So it was really good. So I encourage you, go check it out on WWE Network, the WWE 24 documentary on Edge. We're going through the background right now of Otis and Dolph Ziggler. They just re-showed the whole thing with Dolph and Sonya Deville and them, conspiring to get Mandy away from Otis. So, anyway, let's see. A couple other highlights. Of course, the spot Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens coming off the top of the WrestleMania sign onto Seth Rollins. Huge. We did have technically 3 title changes last night. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, your new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, beating the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. You've got Braun Strowman defeated Goldberg. Goldberg hit about 4 or 5 spears. Braun hit 4 or 5 power slams. Braun gets the win. He is now your Universal Champion. And Mojo Rawley defeats R-Truth for the 24/7 championship. So R-Truth's 35th title reign as 24/7, 48/7, 24-hour I-95 East European TV champion come to an end, at least for now. We'll see what happens. Maybe I bet you they do a title change tonight. Gronk tried to get it, but Mojo shoved him out of the way. So the weekend, Blinding Lights, the official theme of WrestleMania. It was they were at, wasn't this past F1? I think it was 2018 Formula One. They performed post-race concert. So yeah. Lineup tonight. You've got the perfect example of a Stuff Just Happens match. Aleister Black taking on Bobby Lashley. Lana will be in his corner, of course. We just mentioned Otis faces Dolph Ziggler. You got the Street Profits defending the Raw Tag Team titles against Angel Garza and Austin Theory. Cool to see Austin Theory get a shot in a fatal five-way match. Bayley to defend against Lacey Evans, Tamina, Naomi, and Sasha Banks, defending the SmackDown Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley defending the NXT Women's title against Charlotte Flair, the first time an NXT title has been defended at WrestleMania. Let's see, what did I miss? Last Man Standing, Edge versus Randy Orton. They're going through that right now on the pre-show. And then Brock, I assume the main event will be Brock Lesnar defending the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. So there's the card for tonight. I don't think the Firefly Funhouse match will be the main event. I could be wrong. I was a little surprised Undertaker and AJ Styles was the main event in the main event slot, but then again, WWE, just like they think titles are just props, main event slot doesn't register much. So we'll see as they go through the attack. Randy Orton attacking Edge. So let's see what the Twitterverse is saying right now. Let's see. Zack Ryder, let's go Edge. You know, of course, he was one of the Edge heads. Let's see. Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful poses the question. Dadgummit. Tweet wrong thing. Do you want to see WrestleMania do two shorter nights moving forward or one longer night as is tradition? Interesting question. I'll be honest, I don't know how that looks if they do a full on in a stadium. I've talked about this before. When I was in Miami for the Super Bowl, I had a chance to have the Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga Tangaloa, the multiple time IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, and I asked them about how they felt about having Wrestle Kingdom as a 2-night event, and they said that basically it was a little bit of a letdown. They felt like they lost a little bit of the magic. Now, I think part of that may have been that you had the main event of the second night, depending on the main events of the first night, with the title matches with Tetsuya Naito and Okada defending titles and such. So, I wonder what that would look like. And we say this all to say, look, as much as we like to see everybody show up at WrestleMania to get their moment, the fact of the matter is you could do a normal 3-4 hour WrestleMania, just like every other pay-per-view. It does not have to be 7-8 hours. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens next year when they go to LA and go to SoFi Stadium. So let's see what else is happening. We get the backstage crew: Renee Young, Booker T, and this time Christian, coming from their respective places. I take it Booker T is either at the Reality of Wrestling headquarters, or maybe he's at ESPN 97.5 in Houston. Although the skyline, they've got this skyline behind him. if I didn't know, I think the skyline looks a little like Austin, but I know he's in Houston. So no, Renee Young's in Vegas because that's where she and her hubby John Moxley live. So let's see what else. Um, Ross Berman from WrestleZone. Undertaker buried the guy that does his wife's finisher. Edge has his wedding ring displayed prominently during his return match graphic. Wife Guy Mania is running wild. Hashtag WrestleMania. Well, there you go. What else? Yeah, not much else. A lot of reaction. People getting ready. By the way, I don't know if you saw this. Let me see if I can find it. There is a college basketball game whose location depends on, I think it's Brock and Drew. Let me find see if I can find the tweet. Um, I retweeted it earlier. It was coming from Dan Wetzel, who he is with Yahoo Sports. Yeah. Again, I just lost it again. Let me hold on. Let me do this again. Go here, go here. We got time. We got time. Um, Dan Wetzel, who covers college basketball and everything for Yahoo Sports. So Rick Pitino, who just signed on at Iona as their new head basketball coach, won national titles, coach at Louisville, coach Kentucky. They have decided to bet on the WWE title match. So if, and his son, Richard Pitino, is head coach at Minnesota. So they have said that let's see, so if Brock Lesnar wins, Iona, Minnesota will play at Minnesota. If Drew McIntyre wins, they'll play each other at Iona. So there we go. You know, who says wrestling doesn't matter, right? A potential titanic matchup between father and son in college basketball. We know that sports personalities were watching. We mentioned Mike Golick Jr. from ESPN were watching last night. Shout out to them. There. As we are about 10 minutes away from the start of night two. So, by the way, if you want to ask me anything, you can use the chat room on YouTube, or you can tweet. Send the tweet at SGTWATX on Twitter. You see it on the banner. Use the hashtag HeyStew. HeyStew. Hashtag HeyStew. So we'll see. There is a slight chance that my co-host Justin the Smash Simmons may show up. We were together this morning with Adam Wagner doing the Wagner Wire on the Horn here in town. On the Horn here in Austin. 3 hours. It ended up being kind of a half fantasy sports, half sports guys talking wrestling bonus edition because not much going on. Talked a little NFL free agency. Talked about the Cowboys. And of course, we talked WrestleMania. So, yeah, this is they're previewing the Aleister Black Bobby Lashley match, and which I'm glad they're previewing. But again, there's no storyline because this match just it was like blah. Here's a match. So um, one of the I've actually interviewed Bobby Lashley. He's actually a nice guy, of course, fellow Army vet, so we had that in common. So we'll see. Should be good. Let's see. My our buddy Dave LaGreca at David LaGreca one. Awesome job by WWE Graves and Rosenberg Radio tonight and last night. Check out Busted Open on Sirius XM. May see if he wants to jump on this week or next. Talk about what's been going on. I mentioned last night. So this week, Sports Guys Talking Wrestling Wednesday night at 8 p.m. We go 2 hours. We'll review everything with WrestleMania. We're going to try to see if we can get uh, Simon Miller from What Culture. Also going to try to get Ray Campos, the owner and operator for America's Academy of Pro Wrestling. See what else we can come up with. But 2 hours, super show, Sportscast Talking Wrestling, 8 p.m. Central, Wednesday night. If you are here in Austin, that's on the Horn, 104.9 FM, AM 1260, 101.9 FM. If you are anywhere around the world, you can stream it live via hornfm.com or the Horn Austin app for your smartphone. And of course, like every other show on the Horn, we podcast every show. Usually ends up as a podcast, usually immediately after the show ends, after we go off the air. So, WrestleMania moment, the streak ends, and I will still say to this day, they shouldn't have ended the streak because it did nobody any favors. Um, didn't help, Brock didn't need the rub, and I think it would have been a cool thing just to keep alive just for the hell of it. But that's just me, and that's the fandom in me. I think. I still remember. To this day. Chad Hastings, Chip Brown, who now works at another station, and we were in Arlington, Dallas Fort Worth, that weekend because we were doing not only the NASCAR race, the Cup race there at Texas Motor Speedway, it was also Final Four weekend. So we were going to AT&T Stadium for the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. And so the night of WrestleMania, we were supposed to be there for the race. I forget what we called it then. Duck Commander 500. That's what it was. Well, it got rained out and they had to postpone it to Monday. So we're still in the media center. So Chad and I are holding around my iPad watching Mania. And in fact, I won't forget because Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Danica Patrick were standing right over here. They had the dog with them and they're tiny and they were talking to people. So Chad and I are watching. Chip Brown's making fun of us. And then it happened. Lesnar beats Undertaker. And oh my God, it was like it was like we found out Santa Claus isn't real. It was awful. So just couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe they actually pulled the trigger. So okay, so apparently someone just tweeted out. Let me check this. John Cena on his Instagram. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Why my phone just says? Oh yeah, he has. All right, so apparently the last 369, his last 12 posts, young kid, Wyndham Rotunda to Husky Harris to Bray Wyatt NXT, more Bray Wyatt NXT, Bray Wyatt WWE, Bray Wyatt before he lost to Cena, and then we get Firefly Funhouse Bray, and then Fiend for a couple posts. So interesting. Oh, there's more. Oh, he's got some more. Interesting. Oh, good Lord, he's got one where he takes Bray Wyatt's. That looks like Samoa Joe. I don't know. Anyway, looked like he took Bray Wyatt's face and superimposed it onto Joe Exotic's head. But interesting. So anyway, as I go through the package for Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, I've met Drew McIntyre a couple times, including when he was still Drew Galloway in TNA. Got a great picture of the selfie with the two of us when NXT came through town. They were at the Cedar Park Center, or the HEB Center at Cedar Park. Happened to be front row for that. He and Brian Fritz are really good friends, and so when I told him that I was friends with Brian, he stopped and said hi, and we chatted for a very brief moment. So, oh yeah, that's right, and that's one thing I forgot about. So the SmackDown Women's Championship match is a fatal 5-way elimination match. So not only is it fatal 5-way, but it goes until people get eliminated, uh, and then there you go. So all right, so it looks like they're wrapping up the pre-show. Thank God. Here we go. WrestleMania starts now, night 2. And of course, we got a deal for uh, Monday Night Raw. That's going to be the fun part. What is Raw going to look like? And what is SmackDown going to look like? As I mentioned, if you believe the rumors that have been said, WWE has enough content for Raw tomorrow night, NXT on Wednesday, and maybe some of SmackDown. And that's it. I don't know. We'll see. Should be interesting. Oh, real quick. See picks. I'd say Black over Lashley, Otis over Ziggler. I'd like to see John Cena, but he'll be the Fiend over John Cena. Edge over Orton. Street Profits go over. Oh, we get Welcome Back by Stephanie McMahon again. Bailey retains. Rhea retains. And Drew McIntyre is your champ. So there's my picks. Let's see. We'll see how they. Kind of interesting that they decided to have Stephanie do these little, welcoming. I don't know. I think I would have picked. I don't know. I guess they think Triple H is too tied to NXT. Are we doing the same intro? Yeah, they're doing this the same intro as they did last night. So it's the where they're going through very dramatic, and then they stop. Guy sounds suspiciously like Jack Sparrow from uh, Pirates of the Caribbean. So yeah. Yeah, see already, and this is a beautiful thing. So KJ seats, we couldn't get a new video. Shaking my head, where Scott Fishman says, "Where'd to go? This WrestleMania opening is worthy of being shown a second time." So again, someone said too big for just one night, misspelled two, but not too big for just one opening to video. So I think it's funny. I don't know. That's again, you do kind of wish they would have done something a little different, but oh well, it's okay. Being obnoxiously heroish. Oh, interesting. Raj Giri from Wrestling Inc. Wrestlers having their first WrestleMania singles match this year: Becky Lynch, Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, Shayna Baszler, Natalia, Liv Morgan, Sami Zayn, Elias, Drew Gulak, Rhea Ripley, Aleister Black, and Otis. The funny thing is, they show it's the same intro, so you get all the wrestlers that showed up last night, like Kofi and Undertaker and Corbin. But we also get to hear ACDC again, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, Viking Raiders, they're not even on the card. Yeah. By the way, big shout out to WWE for using Metallica to bring in Undertaker last night during the Boneyard match, and I'm about to find. I got to because I just bought it because for some reason I didn't even have it, but um, the song "Now That We're Dead" from the album Hardwired to Self Destruct, released in 2016. But yeah, I am a big. Sorry if the camera's going off. Oh, come on. There we go. Focus. All right. So, but yeah, big Metallica fan. There we go. That's not bad. Welcome to WrestleMania. So you segue from ACDC to the weekend. That's what I should have done. I should have bought some Snickers. Title sponsor. So don't have any Snickers. I got some Hershey's, but that's okay. And we're back with Gronk. Hey, Gronk, the 80s called. They want your jacket back. I know a thing or two about dropping a hammer on a championship Sunday. And we start with the NXT Women's Championship. Here comes the Queen. As well as somebody that's been on our show. All right. Here we go. So you got Byron Saxton, Tom Phillips going to call this match. Interesting choice, seeing that this is an NXT title match. You would think they would have had Mauro Ranallo and Nigel McGuinness, but I guess because, well, actually, I guess Charlotte's on Raw. Thought Charlotte was SmackDown. You never know. Aw. Text from my girl. She was fighting the grocery store. So she just finished. She's loading the car. Going to WrestleMania. Ten times. I guess she's a Raw because she was on Raw. Oh, let's see. The Queen is back. It is interesting that they picked this to be the first NXT belt to be defended at WrestleMania. It's good. Oh, we got the shot from the Raymond James Stadium. In fact, it was so funny they had this shot. She's sitting on the field and look up, and there's Tony Dungy. Of course, he's been inducted to the Tampa Bay Hall of Honor, Ring of Honor, I should say. Take you to deep waters and drown you. Very purple blue gear for Charlotte. Here comes Rhea Ripley. White vest, blue pants with white and some fishnet inlay and interesting. So, as I said, I I would be surprised if they put the belt on Charlotte. Although if they do, that may say something about NXT right now, which it should because NXT has a damn good women's division. You think of the likes of Bianca Belair and Io Shirai and Candice LeRae, uh, you know, Dakota Kai and all the women that are in there. From the Queen City. Doesn't sound quite as good as Greg Hamilton, but that's okay. They said it. Oh my God. I think I mentioned it yesterday. One of my little annoyances. It's all about Andrade, the beautiful queen, tweeting out about his Goyle, Charlotte. It's interesting to because you can hear the back and forth verbal barrage between the wrestlers. Last night you could hear like hearing Corbin arguing with Jess, the referee, during his match with Elias. And a chop. And a chop. And a chop. And we're chopping her down. Went for the riptide. 1, 2, kick out. Yeah, we're not going to have her win just yet. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I agree with Sean Ross Sapp. A lot of really, Charlotte? Really? Really? Yeah, for being me. So the camera's here, but monitor's here, so I'm checking to make sure everything's going good. And then soon as Ripley gets out inside the ring, goes under the rope, Charlotte's stomping a mud hole into her and walking to dry. Oh, Eddie Cross from Fight Night ATX checking in. I'm still going to pick Rhea, but I don't trust Vince after last night. So I'm going to pick her too. Can't see Charlotte on NXT for an extended period. So Ripley, nice suplex. Supplé, as Gordon Soley would say. Scott Fishman, TV Insider. Today is graduation day for Rhea Ripley. Ooh, leg scissors. There's something you don't see much. Leg scissors by Rhea Ripley on Charlotte Flair. Kevin Von Erich used those all the time. Was a master of those in the ring back in his day. Just remember from Eddie Cross, just remember we live in a world where Otis has a singles match at Mania. There are no rules. Understood. Again, very, very physical match. They are not they're going pretty stiff on some of these moves. Charlotte going after the left knee of Rhea Ripley. This this is straight out of the Nature Boys playbook. Soften up the knee. You'll get her in the figure 4 for her figure 8, but she'll find a way to kick out. Boom! Oh, kick right to the knee. Kick right to the knee. Yeah, Charlotte so far all the momentum in this match, attacking Rhea Ripley's left knee. Continues the attack. Oh, now we're going. Oh, I think we're gonna go ring post Yes, wrap it around the ring post, of course. I should be paying attention. Sorry, you get distracted. Jim Valley. Charlotte Flair again parallels her dad's career. She wrestled in front of no fans just like her dad did for Bob Geigel. Understandable. Ow. Oh, that looks weird. She picked her up. So Ripley picks Flair up like she's going to hit either a back back body drop or a suplex, or instead goes like she's going to go for a atomic drop. It just plants Charlotte on the mat and then crumples, favoring her left knee again. So apparently, at least according to a few people, Rhea Ripley's gear is anime inspired. Having no clue about anime, I don't know. Oh, somebody's in the chat. Burr something. Who? Bima Sixto. Hold on. Berna Sixto. Hi, Berna Sixto. How you doing? Thanks for joining me. Um, all of a sudden, you know, Rhea's favoring it a little bit, but that whole adrenaline thing, you get that adrenaline, you stop feeling the pain. Drop kick landed right on that side, on their left side. Rhea's screaming, trying to block out the pain.